Hey, all right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another quick session of Ask Jeff. I got a few more that have come in here, so I'm going to get to those. So I'll start with this first one that came in. There were a few items that this driver submitted. One of them says, I think there should be an area designated at the Skyline Home Yard so drivers can sweep trailers out when they need to be swept out. That could be a challenge. As everybody knows, the home yard here, we are extremely tight on space. Everybody knows that when they come in over the weekend, finding a spot to park your trailer or trying to get your trailer out on the weekend is extremely difficult right now. But we have taken in a lot of new trailers, and we're still trying to cycle out some of our old ones. So it's even worse right now than normal. But I like the idea. I will get with some others here and try to figure out, is there space we could do this? What would that look like? How do we make that happen? So good idea to make that more convenient. That would help when you're here. Of course, that doesn't do anything to help you when you're trying to sweep it out when you're out on the road during the week. But hey, we'll do what we can to try to at least make life simpler on this end. But not sure what that solution is, but we'll see what we can come up with. Also, it says ask for load planners to try to get the drivers home on Fridays. Sometimes it seems that the same drivers over and over get home on Fridays while others get in on Saturdays. That's not a new comment that's come up. That does sometimes happen. You get kind of in this off cycle with your leave out date and your day that you come home. So I don't have an easy solution for that. I would encourage you to when you do have that happen to you and you need to get in and you're trying to get out of that cycle to get in on Friday, start communicating with your driver manager as early as you can during the week to say, hey, point it out to them, let them know what happened, trying to get back to where you get in on Friday, and they can be working with you on that. If you see it happening and it just you're not getting a response, then that's when you need to either reach out to Rocky, reach out to myself, and we'll see if we can help you with that. And also it mentions about making sure we have the correct information on loads when they're received on your Mobilcom device. A lot of times you get the wrong address or you don't get the correct name for a shipper or consignee, and that is frustrating. We do a whole lot to try to get the right info. We know it is important to have the right information. It's actually in our values. Information is important. You got to have the right info in order to do your job correctly. So I'll make that a point of emphasis to try to remind everyone in the office how critical that is. When you do have that happen, if you notice one, I encourage you, please send a message back with, hey, this wasn't the correct address or this was not the correct information for the shipper or the consignee. Send that to us. We will take that and update that in our McLeod system. So the next go around, when we go there the next time, hopefully we do have that right information. So when you find it, please feed that information to us. On the flip side, we'll work on our end to try to do our best to get the information correct from the start. I'll do one more since I got a couple of minutes here. So the other, this comment says, hey, how about paying more for hazmat loads for the time it takes to put on placards? And we have had some discussion on that over a few years. And paying individually for each hazmat load can be a challenge because there could be multiple drivers on the load. So if we pay the driver that picks up the load some additional hazmat pay and he put the placards on, well, then if driver 2 then takes that load, does he get the hazmat pay or not? And then there may be even a third driver, when we relay these loads and that driver's taking the placards off. But all along the way, everybody's handling that hazmat load, but you're doing different things with it. So our software is not really set up to where you can easily tack that pay on to those loads based on whether there's hazmat or not. So the solution we came up with was where we included in the SkyPro, we have the fact that whether or not you have your hazmat endorsement is one of the big factors in SkyPro. So the reason we did that is because that kind of takes the confusion out of it. And if you're a hazmat endorsed driver, we're paying you that additional SkyPro money for every load that you haul, not just the hazmat loads that you're hauling. So we took that approach. That could be too simplistic. I'm open to getting more feedback on that as to other ways to address that issue. But our approach was to say, hey, let's just take everybody who has a hazmat endorsement and elevate them on the SkyPro scale in order to compensate them more for every load they haul. But anyway, we can take another look at that if we need to. But I think we've addressed it through SkyPro, but if I'm wrong there, I'm open to be corrected. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll try to keep this short, and I'll be back in touch with another Ask Jeff in the near future. Thank you, and see you later.